रिमूव्ह सुरू करायचं का त्याच्यातच करेक्शन करू मग काय करायचं म्हणजे आपण फायनल करू दिसत नाही मी दिसत नाही good afternoon all. I welcome you all in the IQAC and our institute. If we look at the vision of the institute, it's a strong, free-minded, and capable youth with social bonding. And for that, we have a mission, a dynamic approach with firm belief in efficiency and hard work. This is composition of IQAC is according to the NAC guidelines. We do change a student representative every 3 years. Also, we change the members as per the need and as per the guidelines of NAC. Every year, we have some special initiatives that are not only for academic but for overall development and to meet the goals suggested by NAC, recommended by NAC, their core values, and to be intact with our vision and mission. For student orientation, we organize every year state level intercollegiate competitions, elocution competition, and poetry recitation competition. Elocution competition is every year on 18th of August, while poetry recitation in Marathi, that too comic poetry recitation, it's on 22nd of November every year. Then on 11th of November every year, we organize blood donation camp in college premises in association with Ahmednagar Blood Bank. And every year we see that a number of donors and number of the bottles collected, it is on the hike. It increases every year. Student council is inaugurated every year. And at the time of inauguration of student council, there is interaction of management with students. And it is three-way communication. The students are there, teachers are there, and management is also there. Sometimes students come up with their queries, their grievances, and management on the spot resolves it. We have a society-oriented Best Professor Award, which we confer every year. Initially, it was a state level. From 2018, we made it a national. Apart from academic achievements, some social orientation, social work, extension activities we consider. For that, we invite proposals from every corner of the country, and then committee decides. Not looking at all in the academic achievements, only for the social work, and for that the parameters are decided by the committee, whether number of beneficiaries, working experience, type of social work, number of NGOs he is working, and the awards received by the awardee so far. Looking at all these things, we confer this award. Even in the pandemic period, we continued the practice, but that time it was online. These competitions were organized also online for 2 years. Health checkup camp. Apart from this blood donation camp, we have health checkup camp for the students and faculty also, and especially for girl students and lady staff members. We have HP detection camp also. Yoga Day is demonstrated. Yoga is practiced every year on 21st of June as International Yoga Day. Before that, too, we had yoga demonstrations in our college by the Department of Physical Education. Career Guidance Camp by Lifelong Learning and Extension Department of University. The date changes, but this is every year's activity. Then graduation ceremony at college level. Initially, it was in the university only, and it was said convocation program. But university suggested that all students find it difficult to reach university, and therefore, this ceremony, in the name of graduation ceremony at college level, we organize it every year as a regular activity. And to create awareness about voting and to strengthen democracy in India, in association with local government, we organize voter registration camp for new voters every year. Then parents meet and alumni meet, an annual college gathering, that too is every year activity. We have internal and external audit, NAC audits every 5 years, but IQAC as academic and administrative audit every year, and it is done by external agency. This year, I am happy to state that from our parent university, we received A grade in academic and administrative audit. And then, if we look at the academic activities year-wise, in the latest year to 2020-21, we organized three international conferences, two in the Department of English and one in the Department of History. For international conference, of course, on online mode because it was the only mode available then, and at the same time, the technical expertise in our teaching community was increased to optimum level in this period. Almost every department organized webinar in this year 2020-21. Conference on diaspora literature and symposium on Shakespeare's sonnet were organized, and then interdisciplinary research in history in collaboration with Akhil Maharashtra Itihas Parishad was also an organized international event. And for national webinars, where there are seven in number, it's on new education policy, then career opportunity in chemical and pharmaceutical industries by the Department of Chemistry, then importance of Vedic mathematics by the Department of Mathematics, importance of fruits and green vegetables on general immunity, then history of pandemic and its effects on society, and post-COVID complications and solutions. These were the national webinars. We had a national webinar in Hindi named Samakalin Parikpekshya mein Yuva aur Sahitya. If we go back in the history, in 2019-20, we had almost five national seminars, and they were sponsored by different agencies. Higher education, role of educational institute in higher education. It was sponsored by NAC only. And the year 2019, we organized it in September 2019. Then one national seminar on women empowerment. It was sponsored by National Commission for Women. Then we had intellectual property rights. Then we had national seminar in economics sponsored by our university. And we had one more national seminar in administration and currency management in King Shivaji's reign by the Department of History. We also had a state level workshop for women naming digital literacy for women. It was for the women entrepreneurs in our locality, and it was sponsored by Maharashtra State Commission for Women. In 2018 and 19, we have two national conferences. One was joint conference of Marathi, Hindi, and English. It was on 2nd February 2019. And then there was one more conference. Again, it was sponsored by Maharashtra State Commission for Women. It was on legal awareness for women. Two university level workshops we had on environment conservation and entrepreneurship development. In 2017 and 18 also, we had seminars, workshop, conferences on different subjects like cooperation, banking sector, cybercrime awareness, financial literacy, and office automation software. It was a special training program meant for our non-teaching staff. In 2016-17, there were workshops on mobile app and women vigilance, automobile repairing and training camp, and cashless transaction and income tax. Functions of IQAC, if we see, these are all according to the NAC. These functions are designed by NAC. We implement it, and we see that all core values are included in our functional IQAC, like development and application of quality culture. For that, setting parameters for various academic and administrative activities. All these are designed every year at the beginning of the academic year, and to make it more learner centric, facilitating the faculty development and adopting a required knowledge and technology, promotion of participatory teaching and learning process, collection and analysis of feedback from all stakeholders, dissemination of information on various quality parameters to all stakeholders, organization of intra and inter-institutional workshops and seminars, documentation of various program activities leading to quality improvement, acting as a nodal agency of institution for coordinating quality related activities, development and maintenance of institutional database through office software, regular academic and administrative audits, and preparation and submission of annual quality assurance report, that is AQR, to NAC. So I'm happy to state that all AQRs were sent in time. Not a single AQR we made a little delay in that because everything was online and all data is collected at the end of the academic year, which is filled up the an academic quality reports. If we look at the contribution of IQSC, we have the first thing that we do is we form various committees. This is in IQAC only, in the chairmanship of Honorable Principal. Committees are designed in the beginning of the year and then in tune with the university academic calendar. We prepare our institutional calendar and then we conduct IQAC meeting regular. Every year we have four meetings in IQAC where all members are present and in the same meeting we have perspective plan. In the plan, we have some plans for long-term plans, that is 5-year plans, and some are 3-year plans. Also, some 1-year plans are there. Then, for curriculum, we have program outcomes, course outcomes. They are identified, and the attainments are identified. Department-wise, we have a look whether these attainments are really achieved or not. For audits, like gender audit and energy audit, and environment audit, academic audit, all types of audit we perform at our level. But then by external agency also we had. This year we did it from Green River Solutions from Mumbai. We had all these audits. After taking this feedback from various stakeholders, we have action taking mechanism for that. The cases where students are reported the weak areas, principal suggests, recommended individually and in group also. If you look at the first criteria, which is curricular aspect, we prepare institutional and department-wise academic calendars, regular meetings with heads regarding curriculum planning. Means the staff decides with the heads what type of planning we should make to go in tune with the university academic calendars. Then monitoring the implementation of teaching plan. For that we have a mechanism. Apart from their daily teaching diaries are going parallel with the annual planning or not. It is supervised monthly by their respective heads, then by the vice principal, and then finally by the principal. Where monthly syllabus completion report is designed and which is submitted to IQC. Along with the university curriculum, we have add-on courses to inculcate ethical values in the students, not disturbing our regular timetable. We have a special timetable for these courses, certificate courses and diploma courses for job orientation, and add-on courses for ethical values, general ethical values. As per the guidelines of NAC, we collect feedback from all stakeholders, from all students and teachers and employer. This feedback is analyzed and accordingly action is taken in the IQSC on the feedback on the particular event, on the particular parameters. Then cross-cutting issues are there, reflected in curriculum of almost every subject. But these cross-cutting issues are identified, and they had special programs. For example, I'm happy to relate that gender bias or gender equity or gender sensitization, these issues are there in the syllabus of languages, syllabus of zoology, and in literatures of all languages. For that, we have some gender sensitization programs, sometimes sponsored by National Commission for Women. Sometimes we do organize at our level, and these cross-cutting issues are explained in detail there. For teaching, learning, and evaluation, which is the core point in all the higher education, or that our admission process is very much transparent and as per the government policies, as per university guidelines, regarding especially the reservation criteria and the norms and intake capacities. The assessment of learning level of students, we have two way, that is identification of slow learners and advanced learners. To run the university curriculum, slow learners have a different and special remedial coaching. For advanced learners, they are directed to the Civil Service Examination Guidance Cell for experimental, participative, and problem solving methodology. We treat the students accordingly. And planning and implementation of continuous internal evaluation, we have a set when we go in the department of IQAC, all the documents are there. Especially, I'm happy to, and I will like to show you that is meeting register. Systematic meetings are organized and how the action is taken. Action taken report is also there. Proceedings are there. Agenda is maintained. The resolutions for that, systematic planning and implementation every year is there. Then department-wise result is analyzed, and overall institute's result is prepared and is submitted to management also. A research, innovation, and extension. We encourage teachers and students to undertake research study, and this the last years we had as good as 8 minor research projects, 7 in last year, and 1 in 1 year before the last. These 8 minor research projects were sanctioned by university and were completed in time. We organize seminars and conferences on intellectual property rights, professional and administrative training programs, special training programs for teaching also and for non-teaching staff also, developing an ecosystem for innovations and transfer of knowledge, collaborative activities under functional MOUs, and extension activities in neighborhood communities. Along with the NSS volunteers, we join, the staff joins, and the students join, whether they are volunteers of NSS or not, they join in the local community to address local advantages and disadvantages for infrastructure and learning resources. I hope you have had a look in all this documentation. But for that, various indoor and outdoor games and sport facilities are there. Every year, the management looks in the case that there is growth in some little or major, but the growth is there in the infrastructure. We might have seen the work in progress of the grand administrative building, which was planned some years back, but now I suppose it is coming in the execution. IT facilities and for ICT teaching are provided for online, especially in the pandemic era. More online activities were done, and subscription for online learning resources is also there. We had a computer lab with advanced configuration, and we have language laboratory with a Clarity English software. We have CCTV surveillance in the campus. We have provision of projectors and ICT enabled classrooms, and the number of ICT enabled classrooms is growing every year. A special committee is there for maintenance of physical, academic, and sports facilities and for green initiatives. Our campus is considered to be a role model by the committee of university, especially the palm pond in the campus and water harvesting policies implemented in this campus to keep the green initiatives intact. It was this institute was considered as a role model, and many institutes, the IQC coordinators and principals have visited our campus to have a look in the green initiatives. Student support and progression. We have co-curricular and extracurricular activity to support their curriculum. Along with the curriculum, as is stated earlier, we have n number of cultural activities like allocation competitions are there, annual gathering E2 is there. Apart from this, our students participate in the cultural and sport events in the university in other colleges. For capacity building and skill enhancement, we have special initiatives. We organize at our level cultural and sports events. We have mechanism for redressal of grievances, and a special cell is there, that is ICC, internal compliance cell, which look in the cases of ranking. We have our alumni registered with the charity commissioner of beach, and students have representation in almost every body. Main representation is there in the student council, then in quality development committee and internal quality assurance cell, students are there. Department wise committees are there where students have given a special representation. Every year, in the beginning of every year, we reward meritorious students and looking at the results of the previous year, and the meritorious students who have won awards and trophies and medals in sports, they are felicitated at the time of annual gathering. Our grievances, leadership, and management. We have, as per the perspective plan, there is a special organogram to look into the plan whether it is executed properly or not. We conduct CDC meetings and IQAC meetings regularly. All the members are given a notice in time, and looking at the quorum, these meetings are organized. Various academic and administrative committees are formed, and this work of this committee is monitored by IQAC. E-governance areas of operation, we have almost in every field. In library there is e-governance, for exam there is e-governance, in admission process there is e-governance, scholarships there is e-governance, and apart from this, in teaching also, sometimes we use online teaching methods these days. Welfare measures for staff and students are there. For welfare measures, there is cooperative society. We have faculty development programs for students. There are many committees. They are looking in that. And performance-based appraisal system for teaching staff is there. At the end of the academic year, before going to vacation, these self-appraisal forms are filled and submitted to principal. And looking at this, the appraisal is verified by the principal. Then only they are permitted to go for the vacations. For non-teaching staff also, there is a confidential report is prepared and kept with the management. And the institutional values and best practices are strictly as per the vision statement of our institute. The vision statement states a strong, free-minded, and capable with youth with social bonding. And to keep this vision intact, we have identified our best practices and identified our institutional distinctiveness. And in this area, a promotion of gender equity, a look in the admission process also, and in the teaching staff also, and in all type of programs, there are women to represent, women to state something, and the programs are organized for HP detection camp. I had already mentioned, and the programs sponsored by NCW are there. For environment consciousness, the camps are organized. Plantation is there. Waste management, for we have special policies for that. Three-way it is, for solid, for liquid, and for e-waste. For solid, we have two types of waste managements. One is for biodegradable and for non-biodegradable. For non-biodegradable waste, we have a collaboration with Nagar Panchayat Ashti. They collect this non-biodegradable waste every week. And for biodegradable waste, in our campus only, we have vermicompost project, where this all biodegradable waste like leftovers of the tiffins, then dry leaves, these are collected and directed to vermicompost project, where mixed with the water and done. And this vermicompost is again used for the plants in the campus, which helps in recycling of the solid biodegradable waste. For liquid waste, which is chemical waste, it is dumped at some particular place. But for the water waste from the filter, it is directed again to plant to ensure recycling of the wastewater. And for e-waste, we have MOU with Manish Enterprises. They collect our e-waste for replacing, repairing, reusing our whatever. Our water harvesting policies are two-way: groundwater harvesting and roof water harvesting. In the monsoon, there are heavy rains, but in summer, we face the scarcity of water. In summer, sometimes there are vacations, therefore, problem of drinking can be solved this way or that. But for green initiatives, we use the water from the farm ponds, which is stored there in the monsoon only. By roof water harvesting, we collect all the water in the monsoon and it's directed to the farm pond, which has 40 lakh liters intake capacity. And bore is also recharged by groundwater harvesting. The recharged bore is again with raised water level is used in the summer for sanitation and for plants. Sometimes due to heavy rain, our farm pond gets filled up in the month of August and September. That time we stop the water going directly to farm pond from roof, but is directed to again recharging of the bores. Then, for inculcating human values and professional ethics and communal harmony, throughout the year we organize the programs. On 2nd of October, we have International Non-Violence Day, and the day is celebrated not only by Mahatma Gandhi's Jayanti, offering bouquet and garland to the photo, but NSS volunteers take a special cleanliness drive on that day and sensitization of student and staff for the constitutional obligations. We perform the days we celebrate 26th of November and 26th of January. A code of conduct are designed for all stakeholders. For student, it is displayed on the website. At the same time, it is there in the college prospectus and their handbook. For teachers, it is there in their teaching diary, and all these codes of conduct and the formulated codes of conduct are there on the website. In the best practices, which is a very important area, I could say, every year we make a list of the best practices. There are many things which we can consider in best practice, but two of them are identified and they are communicated to NAC in the AQAR. In these 4 years and this year's, altogether there are 10 best practices. For SSR, we have chosen two of them as best practices. One of them is UGC sponsored courses. UGC sponsored diploma courses. This we consider our best practice because it came from the alumni. The demand came from the alumni and the parents that apart from the traditional university curriculum, we should have something like skill development and something for job orientation. Looking at the demand of the alumni and parents, we sent approval proposal to UGC through university for two courses. They were automobile technology and accounting and taxation. And both the courses were approved, sanctioned by university. Then we had a special board of study designed for that. The curriculum was designed, it was approved from university, and with intake capacity of 50 students on first come first served basis. There's 50 students batch for each course. After the completion of the course, when we look into the feedback of these registered students, they say we could get some type of job. Bread and butter's problem was solved. They could get employment in uh, some entrepreneur, or they start their own workshops, garages. They started working in local banks, credit societies, even they worked in some jewelry shops for writing their accounts, and they could get some remuneration for that. This way, getting inspired by this activity, and the next year we again sent three more proposals to UGC, and under NSQF we got again approval and sanction for these three courses. They are organic farming, web page designing, and this programming, computer programming. The second best practice I say is our target oriented achievement in sports. Students are making achievements in various sport activities at ICT and IUT level. But for that, we encourage students by giving them concession in the fees, by providing them nutrient kits, by providing them track suits, and creating atmosphere in the campus. And some students, some players are reflected as a role model, and other students get inspired by that. So number of trophies, if we look in the chart, we see that every year number of medals and number of trophies in the achievement in the sport at various level is increasing. Institutional distinctiveness, there is one village we take adopt as an NSS activity. In National Service Scheme, we adopt one village. And when we adopt the village, we see how can we help there in all type of communities. Why we chose Kasewadi as the village to adopt? Because the student strength was sufficient on paper, but some of the students from Kasewadi village were irregular in the college. When we made an inquiry under the chairmanship of the principal, we came to know that maximum population of the village is getting migrated after Diwali for sugarcane cutting. And once the family gets migrated, the students too have either to accompany their parents or they have to stay at home and share the household responsibility. Why they are getting migrated? We came to know the water scarcity problem. And for sustainable development in that village, to do something to face the scarcity of water, we all stakeholders in management and the principal IQAC staff and the alumni in that village, parents in that village, students in that village jointly worked on that problem, and we started working for water harvesting policies. In the monsoon, water was going west through brooks, and this water, if we could stop and it get percolated, then level of water in the wells and bore wells could reach to a remarkable height, and this could help stopping migration. The first year we did not see the result, but on the very second year we noticed that the crop yielding in that village raised, milk production in that village raised, migration of that village came down from 80% to 20%, and the youth of that village could start some small entrepreneur in the village so that the migration of the population stopped. Some youth was addicted, and this addiction this uh, sustainable development helped in stopping addiction as well. This we consider as our institutional distinctiveness. In sports also, in the recent and current example, I wish to tell you that the Avinash Sable, the youth in the neighboring village, is practicing on our stadium this 400-meter running track, and in Birmingham Commonwealth Games he got a silver medal in steeplechase game. This we consider our achievement because he is also there, and his sharing, his acknowledgement about the institute is there. I wish to play these videos if possible. Uh, just a minute. These are the interactions with the villagers we had in Kasewadi village. We, with the reporters, when we went there in the Kasewadi, the villagers had acknowledgement about the staff, that how the staff helped in overall development of the village. Just we'll have a look in this clip where the villagers are talking about their views. The green revolution, water level, white revolution, that is increase in the production of milk. We are here in the Kasewadi, which is 6 kilometers from our college. This village was adopted by an NSS unit of our college. College was established in 1972. That too was a drought area, drought time. And in that time, when higher education was not available, this 150 kilometers away, ours was the only institute to offer higher education. And the vision of the college is a strong, free-minded, and capable youth with social bonding. And for that, the mission statement was a dynamic approach with firm belief in EPCSCA and hard work. And keeping that mission and vision intact, we are every 3 years we adopt one village. So in 2017 and 2018, we have adopted this village, Kasewadi, as a, to do work here through NSS volunteers, and not only NSS volunteers, but our staff, our management also took a joint endeavor, and the villagers here, the parents, these all stakeholders are involved in the village, and as a result, we can see that 100% of the population of this village was going there to sugar factories as sugarcane cutter labors. But now, as the employment is available here and the yield is developed, only 20% of the people are going there, and 80% population stays here, so that we could stop the migration. At the same time, biodiversity is also developed because water was not there in the rainy season. In the monsoon there is rain, but all
मला महाविद्यालयाने साथ दिले. महाविद्यालयाचे विद्यार्थी, गावातील नागरिक आणि गावातील विद्यार्थी यांनी सगळ्यांनी मिळून या ठिकाणी खूप मोठं काम उभं केलं. त्याचं बेनिफिट आज आपण पाहतो गावामध्ये चाऱ्याचं प्रमाण असेल, भूधन वाढलेलं आहे, शेळ्यांचं प्रमाण वाढलेलं आहे. या सगळ्यामुळं गावाला एक शाश्वत मार्ग दिसतो आहे.
Okay, thank you very much. What he says is because students are not regular to college, college made an inquiry in the village why they are not regular, and we came to know to our shock that maximum population goes to migration because
जात होती. त्यानंतर एनएसचा कॅम्प झाल्यानंतर कॉलेजचा या ठिकाणी पाण्यावरती भरपूर असं काही काम झालं. गावाची पाणी पातळी वाढली. त्या पुढच्या साली ऊसतोडणीसाठी गावातील 70 ते 60% हे लोक ऊसतोडणीसाठी गेले. ऊसतोडणी आमच्या गावची कमी झाली आणि पाणी पातळी गावची वाढली.
continue, re-adopt the village and continue the same work here for next period of 3 years also. It will be welcome because due to our NSS unit, यासाठी एका प्रयत्नरत झालेला आहे. आज जर या गावाकडे बघितलं तर गावातील प्रत्येक घरामध्ये कमीत कमी 2 ते 3 दुग्ध जनावर आहे आणि 3 वर्षापूर्वी या गावामध्ये एकही दुग्ध जनावर नव्हतं असं म्हटलं. Now, if we look in the village, there is a drastic change. It is more than that. We see the greenery in the village. If we have photographs of the village before our initiatives and after. Then there is one more. There are many more videos where our students who had taken admission for in student progression in post graduation course to some college in Baramati. She acknowledged the water harvesting policy in the campus of this institute. It is acknowledged there. These videos are there. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me.